Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar, 15 Ideas to Crush Your Next Listing Presentation. We're going to give a couple of minutes just to let people continue to trickle on in. So what we've done is we've actually prepared a couple of questions for you guys, and there is a tab at the bottom of your screen that says Ask a Question, and additionally, there's one that says Polls. So just some information on you guys and where you guys are from and what markets you guys are representing. So please let us know and continue to chat it up in our chat, also located at the bottom right hand of your screen. And like I said, we're going to wait a couple of minutes before we go ahead and get started. Got some people from Denver. I know Megan, who will be handling the chat for us, is from Portland. Northwest suburbs of Chicago. So we're going to be representing from all over the country today. That is so exciting. And let us know too in the polls, you guys, we've been asked if you're a buyer or a seller's agent. If you're neither one of those, let us know in the chat. Good morning, Jared from Arizona. Got some people representing from Austin, Texas, Scottsdale, Arizona, Troutman, North Carolina. So exciting. Silverdale, Washington. Thank you guys all so much for joining us today. This is exciting. We've got some Century 21 agents. Don't forget to let us know what brokerage you guys represent. Brian, representing both buyers and sellers. I'm sure that one's a doozy. Got some more Illinois people, some more Washington people. So cool. Who is all ready to learn how to crush their listing presentation? Let us know in the chats. HomeSmart Realty Group. Welcome, welcome. So exciting. All right, you guys. So I'm sure people are going to continue to trickle on in, but I want to respect everyone's time and go ahead and get started with this presentation. We are so excited that you guys took the time to join us today. And we really hope that we're providing you amazing and valuable content that you can take with you into your real estate careers and beyond. So what I want to do is just a couple of housekeeping things. So first off, I want to introduce myself and additionally introduce our content marketing manager, Megan. So my name is Rachel. I'm the social media manager. I will be walking you guys through this webinar today and giving you all the tidbits and information to help you crush your next listing presentation and appointment. Additionally, Megan, who is our content marketing manager, will be handling the chat for me while I present to you guys. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask Megan. She will be scoping out the chat and making sure that everything is answered for you guys. Additionally, if we don't get to your question and we also find that there are a lot of recurring questions, we have allocated some time at the end of this webinar to help answer anything for you guys. Additionally, at the end of the webinar, feel free to give us some of your additional tips and tricks as to what has worked for you in your listing presentations. This is a wealth of knowledge, so we want to make sure that we're just sharing with each other what all has worked and maybe even what hasn't worked for you guys. So feel free to share that in the chat throughout the presentation. But like I said, at the end, we'll have some time allocated to go over all of that. Okay. Additionally, too, if I go too fast throughout this presentation, fear not, there will be a replay that is going to be sent to you guys afterwards. So you can go back and recheck your notes or review any of the material that we covered today, because we do have a lot to cover, which I'm really excited about. So with that, let's go ahead and just get started. So I want to go over what this session is going to really look like for you guys. So we are split into three main, I guess, pieces of really good and valuable information for you guys to walk away with. And then additionally, at the end, we will have our closing where, like I said, we will answer any of the recurring questions or additionally give you guys that opportunity to share with us what has worked for you guys. All right. So first and foremost, what we're getting started with, how on earth do you become best equipped to win your listing presentation? So the purpose of going over all of this today is to really answer questions like, what should I be bringing to the listing appointment? What should I include in my listing presentation? So to help you answer some of these common questions, not only are we going to answer them continuously throughout this session, but ultimately what it's going to come down to is three main topics on how to best be equipped to win your listing presentation. So the first one, be punctual. So we know that appointments and showings and really anything that happens in the real estate world, your time can run over, things go over, things run late. But it's most important that you guys actually allocate enough time for yourselves to get to the listing appointment and be there and show up on time. So we recommend show up no earlier than maybe like 10 minutes early. You can even show up 5 minutes early, but don't show up right on time necessarily, and don't show up late for sure. Next, you want to make sure you arrive prepared. With that, that means you need to practice, and more practice beforehand before you actually have your listing appointment. So this presentation should actually feel second nature to you. So make sure that you're practicing the presentation until you feel comfortable and confident in what you're presenting. Remember that presenting in real estate is really just an essential part of the job. So whether you are hosting just a listing appointment presentation or even walking someone through a listing, these are all forms of presenting. So you really need to nail down second nature what this presentation looks like to you. Additionally, don't be afraid to ask for help. You don't have to do this alone. So make sure that if you aren't necessarily in a position where you feel comfortable presenting, that you consider hiring a professional who actually specializes in preparing presentations. The right person can really take all the stress off of you, and making sure that that delivery is given the way you want it to be throughout that listing appointment is extremely important. So don't be afraid to ask for help, and also practice. Additionally, when you're discussing the property itself, when it goes along with being prepared, you need to know what you're selling. So I think that pretty much goes without saying, but you need to know precisely of what it is that you're selling. So make sure you're not being extremely generalized in your presentation, but make sure you back it up with statistics and specific details. So for instance, instead of just saying like this home, say this 3-bed, 2-bath, single-family home located in this neighborhood. You could even throw out the school district if you wanted to, throw out the lot sizing, the square footage, be specific in what you're selling. And additionally, you want to speak from experience and what you have seen firsthand when you're showing and discussing the property. So for instance, this could be what you've seen firsthand as far as the property condition, and additionally, how much it may cost the seller to fix it up. If there's anything that you notice or see that could be used to fix up the property to hopefully sell it for more money. Additionally, you want to show off the best features and use visual aids to showcase this. Everyone wants to hear the compliments on their property, so make sure you back it up with images that really reflect the positives of the property itself. So highlight all of its best features. You really don't want to leave anything out. This includes showcasing the backyard, kitchen, bathroom, bedrooms, living rooms, so on and so forth. These pictures are really going to back up the beauty of the property. Pictures additionally are just more valuable than words. So making sure that you use professional real estate photography is extremely important to highlight the best qualities of the property. Additionally, you just want to make sure that you have all of your materials ready to go. This includes any technology or any printed collateral that you guys may have while you're presenting. So make sure you have all of that prepared and ready to crush this next listing appointment. Additionally, the third element to really be equipped to win your listing presentation is having a plan and a process in place. Do not overlook this step. So a couple of things to keep in mind when you're referring back to your plan and setting up a process for yourself to go through this next listing appointment. Keep it short and know when to stop. There's going to be quite literally a few minutes for you to really grasp the home seller's attention. So make sure you use that wisely, and everything you say and present is impactful and it's concise. Additionally, you're not going to really realize it, but there's going to be a point in your presentation where you actually start to get tired, and so your energy starts to go down and plateau. The goal is to not get to that point. The goal is to have all of your information prepared and ready and given to your client before that point. Additionally, you want to make sure throughout this planning process, you give an opportunity to acknowledge your homeowner. So at the end of the presentation, make sure the seller really knows the results of what you're trying to portray to them through this listing appointment. Additionally, you want to make sure that you follow up. Any appointments that need to be had after this appointment, make sure you schedule all of that in your follow-up. And then finally, what we want is more than anything for you to be yourself, have fun, continuously learn and practice to get yourselves better at these presentations. And as always, I'm sure you hear it 1,001 times in this industry, but stay motivated. Real estate is a marathon and not a sprint. So continuously work on yourself to get better, especially when it comes to presenting. Alrighty. So since we've been discussing real briefly how to prepare to win, I think it only makes sense that we move into the meat of this presentation and discuss the 15 things that you need to bring to really crush your next listing presentation. So in honor of being prepared, let's get started to go over these. Number one, you want to bring your range of value. So this appointment is your opportunity to really shine. So don't be shy about what you're capable of as a seller's agent. Show the homeowners your prominent successes and discuss your history as an agent as well. So include any specialties or any trainings that you may have, or even certificates that you've completed that really allocate you to do this job well. Another tidbit of information too is this doesn't technically have to be a slide in your presentation, but make sure you add this as a key talking point. This is one of those moments where the seller is really going to decide whether you're the right fit for them. Number two, you want to have a handful of client success stories. So this process for your homeowner is really an emotional roller coaster. They've made memories in this home, so selling it can be really emotional for them. They're already nervous and pretty much probably overwhelmed with this entire process, which is what they're relying on you for, is to help ease their mind. So this is a great opportunity for you to really begin that process of soothing their minds and their worries, and showing them that you have great success and you've had great success with previous clients, and you can back that up with any testimonials that previous clients have given you. So instead of also casually sharing your previous listing experiences, tell them an encouraging story. So instead of just having the quoted testimonial, give a story behind that, because you never know what story is going to actually line up with what your homeowners are experiencing. So make sure you have a handful of these client success stories in your back pocket and ready to go. Okay, so number 3, you want to have a unique selling proposition. So I would say this goes along pretty nicely with your range of value. Um, but the big purpose of this is that you are competing with hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of other agents. So even if they have a niche, you are still competing with them. So this is going to help you stand out from the crowd. This is pretty much what is your brand, and how do you showcase that to your client. Additionally, some statistics I want to just throw out for you guys, just so we have a better grasp of what that competition looks like. So according to the NAR member report of 2018, there was a reported 1.3 million, yes, million realtors in the United States, which was at that point up 6% from what it was in 2017. So to break those numbers down a little bit more, for instance, in Los Angeles, you're a little over 39,000 realtors. In Denver, you're almost at 15,000 realtors. And in Chicago, you're at right around 25,000 realtors. So keep that in mind. Developing your unique selling proposition is your opportunity to stand out from the crowd. So like I said, this includes really developing your brand identity. So for some agents, if you are new, this might take you a little bit of time to develop and to create for yourself. But once you have that set in stone, make sure you are showcasing that in not only any presentations that you give, but any of your marketing collateral as well. All right, number 4, confidence. Do not underestimate this topic. So homeowners know that a great listing agent is really confident in what they're doing. They're put together, and additionally, they are knowledgeable as well. So this listing appointment is a very appropriate time for you to really showcase that confidence as an agent. So again, confidence is really just the way you carry yourself. So make sure, I would say, that you're not necessarily throwing yourself at your homeowners, but really the purpose is to stand your ground and say, I know exactly what I'm talking about. Again, backing it up with those client success stories, because you've got proven results, and have that confidence and that belief in yourself that you can really help this homeowner out. All right, number 5, again, another one to not underestimate. Bring your listening ears. So listing appointments are really about listening intently to what your homeowner needs. So make sure that you do allow plenty of time to answer any questions that they have throughout the appointment. And this includes you asking the appropriate questions to make sure that you get what you need out of it, and additionally allowing them time to ask any appropriate questions that they need to help, again, soothe their mind throughout this process, because once again, this can be very emotional and overwhelming for them. So this is your chance to really listen to what they need. Number 6, compliment them. So I had stated this earlier, but as soon as you walk into that listing appointment, you are your homeowner's biggest cheerleader. I don't care if you have to bring pom-poms, if you bring an air horn, but you are advocating for them 110%. So make sure that you showcase that you are there for them to help them sell their home for the best and highest amount. Additionally, this includes complimenting some of their features of their home. So point out everything that is really going to help the seller sell their house to, again, not only be their cheerleader, but give them confidence in selling this home, and that you can sell it quickly. And like I said, for the most money possible. Even if, this is your caveat, even if the home is not necessarily your style, or even if the neighborhood isn't necessarily an area of your liking, that's not the point. The point is that they live there, they're selling their home, and they are leaning towards you to help them out. So like I said, you are cheering them on despite what your personal beliefs are. Additionally, some things you can compliment them on. If you need some additional ideas other than maybe just saying like, oh, I can see you've updated the kitchen or whatever, Talk about even, for instance, like how mature the trees are in their landscaping. That shows memories in their home. Help them tell a story about their listing. Additionally, now we're going to start getting into some of the technical stuff. You want to have a comparative market analysis. Why, you might ask? Your potential client wants to walk away with the most money as possible. Obviously, you do as well. So by providing a comparative market analysis, this is a really good way to set the expectation before you are hired and show them that you are familiar with the community. So a little bit of background on this as well, and how to create this. Basically, you'll find similar homes in the area that have previously sold. And then what you'll do is you will pinpoint all of the things that those homes have in common to this potential listing. What features stand out. And additionally, after that, you want to take a look at the neighborhood quality, any of the school districts, the lot sizing, anything to help them price the home. Because again, your goal is to set an expectation for them. I do want to note that some agents prefer to hold off on presenting a comparative market analysis until maybe like the listing has actually been toured, or if you are waiting to have a little more information on it. If you do fall into that, no problem. That's fine. We still just recommend that we still recommend to give your homeowners some pieces of information. For instance, compare at least like the lot sizes and the square footage, those items that you can really pull out easily. Okay. So with the comparative market analysis, you also want to make sure that you have net sheets. So with an expense net sheet in your hand, you can continue on that path of really easing your homeowner's mind and helping them resolve some of those big fears that they may have. So this is essentially going to show them what an approximate amount that their home could potentially go for and what they can walk away with at closing. So again, the reason we say to have a net sheet is to help with that expectation for your homeowners. But additionally, it actually helps you to have multiple net sheets, even though it may take a little bit of extra work. Because what that's going to do is that's going to actually create some flex space for you all. Because again, people tend to, if you say something to them or if you present them with information, they're going to hold that to their heart. So providing them with a variety of options is actually going to, like I said, give you some of that flexible space and flexible room when reviewing offers. And that's going to help every party involved with this. Additionally, too, having net sheets is actually just, again, one of those elements that's going to really make you look extremely prepared for your listing presentation and your listing appointment. So this is one of those items that it's pretty much guaranteed to impress your clients. Number 9, and we will go over a little bit more of the details of this later on, but we cannot forget you need the actual presentation and it needs to be eye-catching. So if you don't already have a generic PowerPoint in place for this, after you get off this webinar, do it. Make sure you set yourself up for success and you have a generic presentation that you can use for multiple listing appointments. Additionally, I will point out there is a little button at the bottom of the screen that says download template now. We have created a template for you and all you have to do is add in all of your branding and information. So fear not if you don't have a generic PowerPoint, but we've also have one for you. All right, so another important factor of having a listing presentation itself, 90% of the population is actually visual learners. So take that to heart because you need this to back up everything that you are saying. So for instance, we are actually able to process visually and what we see 60,000 times faster than what we read as text. So this includes fun graphics. This includes having those professional real estate images in this listing presentation. Furthermore, when it actually comes to retaining the information itself, people actually only recall 10% of what they hear. So that's just another statistic to show you guys that you need to have the visual alongside with what your pitch is. Additionally, with your presentation, you want to have a presentation agenda. So an organized agent is a reliable agent. And when you arrive to this listing appointment with an agenda in hand, it's going to showcase your value, your preparation, and your efficiency, and that you are taking this very seriously. So something as simple with an agenda that has bullet pointed topics is enough for your homeowners to have some confidence in you and your abilities, and really consider you a methodical machine when it comes to this home selling process. So again, don't underestimate the presentation agenda. Additionally, what it does is it sets that expectation of what the homeowner is going to learn from your presentation. Number 11, so you want to have a video of the exterior of the home. So we actually grabbed this tidbit from a realtor off of Facebook. So they said that they essentially always take a short video of the home, of the exterior of the home, before they head into the listing appointment. So that way, when they do win the listing, they tell the homeowners that they're going to send this video to all of the brokers that they know within the area to help create buzz that this is a coming soon listing. And the realtor who suggested this tip says that it is guaranteed to impress the homeowners, and show them that you are already thinking ahead and you are eager to have them as a client and to meet their needs. Number 12. Oh my goodness, I can't believe we are more than halfway done. All right, so you want to have a tablet and or a notebook. So this is really for you and for you to take important notes that occur throughout the listing presentation. So you are going to be asked a bunch of questions. And so trying to recall everything that is said is going to be very difficult unless you write it down. So this is a piece of technology and or material to equip you again to win this listing presentation, to help you recall everything that was covered in the presentation and in the appointment. Just again, a side note, if you do bring a tablet, make sure you have it charged. I'm sure we can all say once in a while that we have prepared our best for any type of presentation or appointment or whatever it may be. And the one thing we overlook is our piece of technology not being charged. So throwing that out there, I said it, make sure everything is charged. Also would love to hear your stories in the chat if you have one of those stories about how something did not go as planned because maybe a piece of your technology was not charged. So share that with us. All right, number 13. So in addition to the technology, you want to make sure that you equip yourself with any printed material that supports your listing presentation and your appointment. So we always encourage you to have that digital listing presentation prepared and ready to go. But we also believe that printed marketing materials are a very valuable resource. And the reason for this is that if you leave your homeowners with something when you walk away, that leaves a bigger impact and that gives them a piece of information and a piece of you and your brand to recall on and to remember when you are not there. So definitely have all of this material put together and in a folder, nice and neat to give to your homeowners when you walk away and when the listing presentation is over. So leaving them with that tangible material for their time to review and to process is really going to help them remember you. All right, number 14, business cards. So this seems a little bit like a no-brainer, but I'm sure we can all admit, just like the technology, that we have forgotten to bring our business cards to an event, an appointment, any type of networking event that may have happened. If you're anything like me, you have forgotten more than once. I am definitely one of those people who forgets their business cards more than I would like to admit, but I do understand the importance of them. So this is essentially an easy hack to, again, give your clients the information they need to contact you and to keep you top of mind. So this is having a business card is a professional way to really, again, showcase that you guys are there for them and that you can easily be contacted. So if you are like me and you tend to forget where to, or if you're like me and you forget to bring your business cards, a tip we recommend is that if you have that folder of printed material, like we said, to leave with your clients, just staple your card to it. Additionally, some of the folders have like slots in them, like in the pockets, where you can leave a business card. So prepare it beforehand, so that way when you're at the end, it's not a last minute thing, but it's something that you've already prepared for. And our last one, I can't believe we're already at 15. Holy moly. The listing contract. I think it's safe to say this is probably one of the most important pieces to have with you and to have prepared. If your client is ready to sign right when you're done with your listing appointment, make sure you are equipped to continue out that transaction. So make sure you have a prepared listing contract to really finalize the deal. Because we know that this along with all of the 14 other things that we have covered today and all of those 14 actionable items, there's pretty much little doubt that you're going to walk away with that win. So those are the 15 ideas and items you guys need to have to win your listing presentation. I want to reflect back a little bit, and what we're going to do is, now that we've gone over those 15 things, we want to provide you with a breakdown of the specific slides you need to include in that listing presentation. So this is just to help you guys outline what that presentation can look like for you. Additionally, like I said, there's a button. It is blue for me. I'm assuming it's like a blue-green for you guys as well, that says download template now, where you guys can have those slides ready to go, and all you have to do is plug in your specific branding and information. So with that, let's go ahead and cover these. So the first one, the introduction slide. So this is your opportunity to introduce you and to introduce the company you represent. This is also a time to showcase, again, your contact information and let the homeowners know the best way to contact you. So I would definitely recommend highlighting that. So for instance, some people prefer to be contacted through email, others prefer to be contacted by phone number, so on and so forth. So make sure you include all of that pertinent information so that they know when they reflect back on this, the best way to reach you. The second one, make sure you have a location slide. So essentially what this slide is going to do is, this slide is going to include your property address along with a map that showcases how and where it sits within its neighboring vicinity and neighborhoods. So this is just another way of visual representation for the property and its location. So definitely include this slide. It's also a good slide to have towards the beginning as your introduction. Next, again, we're reflecting back on the comparative market analysis. So this is showing your current condition of the property, and it should again describe the property's location, size, age, any features it has, any of the amenities it has, and the value compared to similar properties in the area. So when you do the comparison, what we recommend is that you have your original slide that is showcasing all of those details of the property you're going to list. Additionally, each comparative property should have its own slide. This is just to help for potential confusion, but I would recommend that having a separate slide per comparative property is the best way to go. Next, you want to have a pricing slide. So this is going to show the listing price for the property. In addition to showcasing this listing sales price, you might want to also take the time to show the estimated time on the market and the days on the market. So just as overview, again, your estimated time on the market is going to represent how long it will take the seller to sell the property at the current listing price. And then your days on the market is how many days the property may spend on the market before it's actually sold. So both of these numbers are going to represent and provide insight to how much competition the seller may face when trying to sell the property in their home. The next one, you want to have a property description slide. So this slide describes those unique characteristics of the property that are really going to help it sell. Additionally, what it's going to do is it's going to point out any issues that you may potentially face throughout the selling process. Get those in the forefront, let your homeowner know so that's something that doesn't come back at them. Additionally, like I said, this is going to include, you can list the structural issues or problems. You can include things as if you've noticed mold. Remember, these are items that you really see firsthand from your experience. If you see any potential termite issues, any water damage anywhere, again, this is another opportunity for you to include the critical property details, such as the square footage, the lot size. I would include parking spaces, how much the garage is going to hold, because a lot of people find that very important when they're buying a home. Okay. Number 6. Again, don't overlook this slide. This is your photos and or video slide. So if you have photos and video available, remember, like when we discussed having that video exterior of the home, this is your opportunity to include them. So this is where any of your professional photography images are really going to come into play and really show your home seller that you mean business. And again, this is going to reflect back on the fact that 90% of the population is visual learners. So make sure you capitalize on that by showcasing your homeowner, their property, through imagery and through video. Additionally, this is going to help them visualize what it could look like on the marketing materials that you'll plan on presenting to potential buyers. Next, again, sounds like repetitive, but you'll notice how these things play into those 15 ideas and items to crush your next listing appointment. But you need your customer testimonial from your previous clients. So this is really just going to, again, demonstrate your quality of service that's provided by you and provided by your firm. And additionally, this slide showcases any type of positive experiences that previous clients have had with you. So that way you're setting the expectation for your homeowners of what they can expect when they work with you during the sales process. Additionally, you want to have your marketing plan slide. So a marketing plan is essential for any business at all, but especially for you as a realtor. So this slide should really include all of the descriptive details as far as how you plan on promoting and marketing the property to sell it. This includes having any type of social media platforms that you plan on using, and additionally, any other advertising methods that you plan on employing and who you'll target. This is just another opportunity to, again, showcase those professional photos that you've collected or any videos as well. All right, so the next one you want to have is a recommended vendor slide. So vendors are going to be any of your services or people who are going to help you through this transaction process. So a lot of people, we know a lot of realtors work with recommended vendors. This is your opportunity to let the homeowner know who you plan on working with or who you've got good representation and presence with. So these are vendors that can include any mortgage lenders, your title companies, any type of inspectors. If you need an attorney, if you don't, appraisers, contractors, so on and so forth. Just make sure if you do list anyone that you plan on having in your presentation as a recommended vendor, that you do include their contact information as well. And finally, make sure you have a thank you slide. This is a very important slide because you want to acknowledge the time that your potential client has given you. And again, this serves as a way to really acknowledge them for choosing you to represent them. So make sure you thank them for giving you this opportunity and not only helping them sell their home, but also potentially helping them find their dream home as well. So this is another great chance for you to include your contact information to your prospective clients so that they have that on top of mind when they're ready to finish and go through this process with you. So those are the slides to include in your listing presentation. Like I said, we already have a template developed for you guys. There is a button on the bottom of your screen that says download template now. So with that, I think it only seems appropriate, like I said, to wrap things up, you have a thank you slide. So in closing, I want to thank you all for taking the time to really join us today and listen to all of the different ideas and concepts we have in place to help you really crush your next listing appointment and your listing presentation. I hope you found a lot of value in this presentation as well. Additionally, I don't think I would be a good social media manager if I didn't say, follow us on all of our social channels. We are online on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So feel free to follow us on any of those channels, because not only do we consistently provide amazing content for you, Megan and her content team do an incredible job of giving you all relevant information as far as what's happening in the real estate industry. But this is also where we're going to host any announcements for any future webinars that we may be hosting. So with that, what I'm going to do is I want to open up to questions. Maybe any questions that were recurring. Additionally, this is your chance in the chat to share with us any tips that you guys have found that work for you for your listing presentation. So I'm going to take a second and go through all of the different chats and see if there's anything that I can pinpoint or potentially answer for you guys. Additionally, like I said, share with us any of your tips and tricks. We would love to hear them. We love using real life experience for any future blog articles or presentations. So we definitely want to hear from you what has worked well for you guys. Oh, it looks like I didn't clarify what EOT stands for. EOT is estimated time on the market. Sorry, I didn't realize I didn't clarify that. All right, I'm going to wait just another minute or so. Looks like one of the tips we have is to make sure you ask questions. And yes, don't use real estate lingo. That is an amazing tip. Keep in mind, you need to keep this presentation open to your client so that they fully understand what you're saying. They don't know all of the real estate lingo. So if you are going to throw some of that jargon in there, make sure you clarify what it means. And then Pam, who's in our chat, says that her team uses a professional stager and use her services as a value-added service, so that if people list with her, that stager is included as one of their team members. So that's an amazing way as well. Provide different opportunities for them and benefits for them, that if they use you as their selling agent, that there's also added bonus and different things that you can include throughout the transaction process that's really going to help their home get off the market. That's a good one, Ashley. So Ashley says, I always ask the client what the reason was they chose the house when they bought it. So again, this goes back to really telling that story of the home. People actually relate more to stories than just straight facts. So be sure you connect with your home sellers so that you can connect in the future to potential buyers. That was a great tip, Ashley. All righty. Well, it looks like we've kind of mellowed out on the chat. Again, I just want to take a quick moment to thank you all for joining us today. Real quick, I just want to let you know that there's actually going to be 2 follow-up emails sent to you guys. So to go over those, the first email you're going to get is a webinar replay. Again, it's just going to help you go back to any of the information we discussed today and have the opportunity to replay it for yourself. Or if you didn't get a chance to listen to the whole thing, you can go back and listen to it. No worries. We'll send that out to you. And then additionally, the second email we're going to send out is, again, giving you an opportunity to download those templates if you're in a position where you couldn't download them right now. And also what we'll do is we're actually going to send you a couple of the different articles and resources that helped us put together this presentation so that you can review those on your own as well. So like I said, thank you guys again so much for joining us. And be sure to follow us for any future news and announcements on any new blog articles and content we have coming out. And additionally, any potential new webinars that we have coming out for you guys. We're all about your education and helping you guys succeed. So be on the lookout for any of those resources. And with that, I am closing out for the day. Again, thank you guys for joining, and I hope you guys have a fantastic Wednesday and a fantastic rest of the week.